truck's guts.
Hey Clooney Garage fans, welcome back to the channel. It's another episode on our Motorsport channel around all the data telemetry from our One Raceway Day. So we had 3 different drivers here in the Mitsubishi Mirage, the Red Bull. So we're going to take you through 3 different drivers' laps. And you can actually see on the summary screen here of the Garmin, we've got driver A doing a 1:17 flat, driver B doing a 1:14.77, and driver C doing a 1:14.58. So let's take a look at each one, and I'll take you through all the opportunities. These Garmin's are a pretty awesome device, and this is my first go at sort of zooming in, so it's not fuzzy and all the rest of it, and I'll take my time so you can look at all the data here. So this is across all the sessions, and obviously it compares the optimal lap. The optimal lap for all the drivers is a 1:14.13, and we actually think that's definitely got a 13 in front of it if the stars align. But let's take a look at driver A. Driver A has got several opportunities, 3 of them, and we'll go to the opportunities tab just here. Click through there, and first of all gives an overview. So the overview is saying for the first opportunity, it looks like it's turn 2, so the kink is turn 1, turn 2 is the bit of the horseshoe down the bottom. There's basically 0.93 of a second down here, and the optimal line is 1 meter shorter than your average line. So we're always looking at the purple line. That gives you an indication of what the optimal is versus the white being the average against all this driver's laps, culminating in the 1:17. So there's 0.93 of a second there. So yes, there's an apex issue with the optimal line, but let's see what else it's telling us here. So basically, this driver can achieve a faster time when you brake earlier, harder 33%, and for longer, so much more trail braking for this driver. And look at the speed difference in the purple trace there. So a fast speed is 142 into the braking zone versus 123 for this driver. Definitely braking longer, and then the optimal line is 122 kilometers an hour versus this driver doing 110. So that's where the time is for this driver. Apex, turn in earlier, and apex earlier. So I think more braking, trail braking, and front end grip to then allow the apex to go. I think this driver's getting pushed a little bit too far and missing the apex, and obviously not trail braking enough. But the big telltale sign here is speed. So there's probably 10 kilometers an hour all through that braking zone. So that's a lot. So 119 versus 130, and then obviously 95 versus 105, and then that continues all the way up the hill. So this driver's got 0.9 of a seconds here. So that's good for this driver because that's an easy fix. Opportunity number 2. The other end of the straight, coming onto the straight, there's 0.65 of a second just in the corner alone. So when we talk about time savings, it's in the corners, and then obviously the straights, you then make up all this extra time as well. So this is saying the optimal line is 4 meters shorter than your average line. So again, this is an apex opportunity for this particular driver, 0.65 of a second. Braking is consistent. Have a look here. 133 kilometers is the fast entry speed. This driver's 124. And then coming into the entry of the apex, 103 versus 95. So the feedback is you achieved your fastest time when you braked harder, 69%, and shorter. So a little bit different to the other corner for this driver, but this driver has to mash the stop pedal a little bit harder in these areas here. And that will definitely help, particularly around the apex, which is the next opportunity. You achieved your fastest time when you apexed later. So it's a very different line for this particular driver on this corner. It's a very confusing corner. It's the brand new slingshot here at Wakefield, or One Raceway, and it does take a bit of getting used to, but the blueprint is in front of this driver. Similarly for speed, have a look at that, 128 versus 113 coming into the corner. Mid-corner speed is about the same, 85, 84, and then the exit is good too. So this is all about the entrance for this particular driver. Finally, it's the fishhook, and this is one of the toughest corners on the circuit, but this driver's got 0.57 of a second to make up on this particular corner. 1 meter longer than the average line, so probably taking a different apex into this corner here as well. So if you have a look at the braking trace, Again, very consistent with this driver. Look at the entrance speed into the braking zone for the optimal line, 134 versus 125. So 10 kilometers difference for this driver on most of these corners where the opportunity is. So this driver's got it all in front of them around coming into a braking zone. So maybe some driver coaching and some trail braking and how to get that mash pedal into the braking zone will be a great opportunity. And this driver's got time to make up. Or if this driver addresses these particular consistent opportunities, they're going to be very fast. So this is, you achieved your fastest lap time when you braked later and harder 68%. So what does that mean for the apex is turning in later and apex later? So again, similar to the other corner we looked at. And the speed is the same. Look at that. So mid-corner, probably 4 or 5 kilometers, but look at the exit speed that the optimal line gets. 81 on the back of the corner, 82 coming into the corner. So there's the opportunities. All right, let's go have a look at driver B. We go back. Driver B did a 1477. So we'll go look at old mate. And this driver has got a couple of opportunities in different parts of the track. Interesting. So 1477 versus an optimal of 1461. Let's have a look. Okay, opportunity number 1 for driver B. 0.3 of a second into the slingshot. Your optimal line is 1 meter shorter than your average line. So 1 meter is not a lot. So where else is the opportunity here? So there's a little bit of a apex opportunity. 5 kilometers difference. Have a look at this. 132 for this driver. This driver's coming in honking and hot. But the optimal line, there's 5Ks it's saying is you can come in even hotter. You achieved your fastest lap time when you braked later. So that's where this extra optimal speed's coming in, and harder by 10%. So probably just a little bit more modulation on the brake pedal there, but obviously there's 5 kilometers an hour coming into the braking zone between the optimal and this particular driver. You achieved your fastest lap time when you apexed earlier, but not a whole lot in it. And speed, which we just covered there as well. This particular driver is there or thereabouts on the exit, there or thereabouts on the mid-corner. It's the entry. So what an awesome opportunity for this driver to maximise that and then get 0.3 of a second opportunity. If my memory is, 0.32. So what a cool opportunity for this driver. Opportunity number 2, coming down the hill off the top of the horseshoe. This is interesting. So 0.2 of a second for this driver coming down the hill. 1 meter shorter than your average line. So I reckon this could be an apex early opportunity for this opportunity. Braking, there's nothing in it. So look at this trace. And you actually don't brake coming down the hill anyway. This is all about you achieved your fastest lap time when you apexed earlier. Later. So this particular driver might be trying to get over where the old ripple strips used to be, and maybe it's to come in later. That's counterintuitive, but the trace doesn't lie. Very interesting. Let's see what it tells us for speed. Look at this. If that driver gets this opportunity right, the entrance onto this little bit is the same, 108, 107, 125 versus 120. Wow. Very interesting. And then opportunity 3 for this driver is at the top of the hill. So this driver's got the top of the hill and coming down the hill as opportunities. 0.19. Optimal line is 3 meters shorter. This could be an apex earlier opportunity, I'm thinking. Braking, look at this. 3 kilometers difference coming into the top of the hill when you braked earlier and harder. So you've got to give that mash pedal a real dash to come into the top of the hill, and then mid-corner. Look at this, braking at the top here. Look at the purple opportunity where it's getting red and hot. This driver's not touching the mash pedal as much mid-corner. That's a left foot brake opportunity there, and then get it back down the hill. Very interesting. Apex. When you apex later. So get to the top of the hill, hoik it across, left foot brake, bring it down the hill. And then look at this mid-corner speed is about the same. I think this is all about just the rotation. And there's 0.19 of a second. So not a huge opportunity, but there is time there nonetheless. Oh wow, these Garmin's they're a gift from God, aren't they? They just tell you stuff that you would never normally know. So let's go have a look at another driver. 1458 for this bloke, driver C. Good looking, this bloke. I'll tell you what, opportunities. Okay, coming into turn 2, 0.22 of a second. Optimal line is 2 meters longer than your average line. Oh, I think I'm apexing too early here. Let's have a look. Braking, you achieved your fastest time when you braked earlier, softer, and shorter. Oh, I'm try braking too much in here. God, look at this. So I'm coming in 151 hot, and they reckon you should be doing 142. But then I'm braking too much. Look at this trace. It doesn't lie. Okay, that's what I've got to work on here. Apex, you achieved your fastest time when you turned in earlier and apex earlier, and obviously didn't hit the brakes as much. Newman, what are you doing? And then the trace speed there is interesting as well. A little bit hard to read, but it's there or thereabouts on speed, but I'm just braking too much. Righto. Opportunity 2. Optimal line is the same length. So I've got the apex right on this one. So there's nothing, it'll be about braking. It's 0.22 of a second. You achieved your fastest time when you braked harder and longer. But look at this, 2 kilometers an hour difference at the start of the braking zone, 1 kilometer difference at the end of the braking zone. So splitting hairs here, but it's feedback nonetheless that I've got action. Apex, it's the same. There's no difference there. And speed is what we just looked at there as well. Okay, now I know the third one's the fish hook. I knew it. All right, and I reckon there's a heap more time than this. 0.19. Optimal line is 2 meters shorter than you. It's because I understeered and nearly ran off the track. That's why. Okay, braking. So 132 versus 134. You achieved your fastest lap time when you braked later, harder, and shorter. Yeah. Or when you're skidding off the track, of course, you're going to be braking longer. Yeah. All right, I know what to do there. Apex, yep, turn in later, apex later. Yep, I know that. And speed, 82 versus 84, 64 versus 67. Yeah, there's not a huge amount of speed difference in there. It's just the track distance. All right. Clinty Garage fans, that's it. I'll wrap it up there. It's interesting dissecting all the different laps and working out where the time is. There's a 1:14.13 it reckons. Yeah, there's a 13 or even a 12 in it, I reckon. And you can then start to look at segments in different corners. Look at all this. You've got segment speed and turn in entry and all this. We'll start looking at more of this analysis down the track and the position on the track, apex type, turn radiuses, track out turn rates, degrees. Look at this. Speed, minimum, maximum, turn exits, acceleration, deceleration on all the braking. So it's all here. It's a real gift from God. All right, I'll wrap it up and catch you later.